You know, the good thing about Metal Allegiance is we always have a revolving lineup. So we could play anywhere and have a different band, which is awesome.
Well, Metal Allegiance Live has always been, to me, the most fun part of what this band is about. I mean, Metal Allegiance started as a live band, doing mainly covers and having just, you know, this crazy roster of people, you know. Some shows are, you know, 15, 20 different people on stage, you know, rotating. So to me, the live show has always been the most fun part of this band.
You know, the way Metal Allegiance started was it wasn't planned. It wasn't, you know, let's get a bunch of dudes together and write a record. It happened pretty organically where, you know, I remember it clear as day where, you know, Mike, Dave, and I were standing on a boat somewhere circling Cuba where we decided to write a record together. And then we recruited Alex. He just happened to be there. And that's how this started. And the original goal was, let's write some killer songs for us, and let's see who could get sing on them. And it was more so of a bringing everyone together, the unity, the brotherhood, sisterhood, which is still the ultimate goal and mission statement of Metal Allegiance.
And as much as we sort of met over our love of cover songs, and we all kind of share the same record collection, and some of our initial shows, it really kind of started as almost like a bass clinic, and then it turned into sort of a all-star metal clinic with an all-star jam at the end, and then it turned into we have an album, and now we have 2 albums.
And now with the second record, I guess the covers will become less and less. We can start to focus more on our own music. But the live aspect will always remain the same with special guests and this rotating cast of characters.
Yeah, so everybody involved in this project, especially us and the core 4, we have radically different schedules, and it can present numerous challenges. The easiest types of shows for us to do, scheduling-wise, are shows built around events, such as the annual NAMM convention, where we have performed several times in Anaheim, usually at the beginning of the year. There has been a festival. There was a festival in Japan where Testament was performing and Megadeth was performing, and Anthrax was performing, and Charlie Benante played drums. I played guitar, Dave Ellison played bass, Mark Alcegueda flew out there and sang. So I could foresee more occasional shows like that.
You know, the musicians and the band kind of always stay the same. It's the usual suspects, but all the special guests that come and go and sometimes just do a one-off or jump on stage because we're at a festival together. I mean, to me, that is what is the most fun thing about this band.
If I can't be there, there are several guys who I have no problem filling in. You know, the first guy that comes to mind is Andreas, because he's on the most songs as a guest guitar player, and he's done a lot of live work with us. And we have performed with Charlie Benante playing drums, and in the core 4 there's 2 bass players, so hopefully it can be one of those. And then singers, you know, it's Mark Alcegueda is like our go-to guy. But, you know, there's some others. If he's on tour with Death Angel, we can find ways to do it. It would be nice if we could tour more often live, but that, you know, it's one of the exciting things about having a band of players who are, you know, in different bands, is that, you know, you don't know who you're going to get. But for these events, we can usually count on the core 4 and a really nice supporting lineup, and I can definitely see a lot more of these live shows happening built around events such as NAMM, and maybe award shows, and certainly album releases.
And a lot of bands, it's like you go see them, and you know, every time you see them, you'll get a different set list. Well, with Metal Allegiance, every time you see them, you get a different band. You never know who's going to be on stage. You know, it's just this cast of characters, and we have this pool of brothers and sisters that we pull from, and every show is a unique experience.
As much as we like getting on stage and jamming some cover tunes, that only goes so far, and there's a lot of all-star bands out there, and we didn't form this as an all-star band. It was never put together like that. Metal Allegiance is just that. It's the allegiance of the metal community. And to be able to write material together, that's not something that usually happens when you put a bunch of famous guys in a room. A bunch of famous guys in a room, it's good for a show poster, it gets some attention on the internet, and then I think we've seen so many of these things now that then once you kind of hear them, try to write, it's always the cart before the horse, and I think in this case we're very blessed with Metal Allegiance because everybody is not only a top shelf, musician, but we're also, top shelf artists, and for us to be able to write and collaborate together, that's even harder when everybody's had a bunch of their own success.
The goal now, at least in my mindset, is taking the whole cover concept and doing our original music and playing more of the original music. We're going to be playing a lot of it coming up in the future. There'll still be those special MA shows where we'll get an idea to cover a whole record. We'll still do all that crazy stuff. But on the flip side, though, playing our music, our original music that we worked really hard on and spent a lot of time crafting and molding together is the priority for us.